So here we go. For my first review, we're gonna take a look at the Jagdpanther. It's a tier 7 tank destroyer. And yeah, let's just take a look at the armor loadout, and we're gonna take a look at the more important stats of the tank. We're not gonna go into too much detail because I'm just not gonna read every stat ever. But yeah, let's look at the armor on this tank. As you can see, the frontal armor is 80, and at a slope that will give you about 120 lower here, and about 133 up here, which is alright at tier 7, but it's not great. You really can't rely on it. Your gun medlet, however, is a pretty big target on the front of your tank, and that's pretty much a fortress. 300, you know, it's like autobounds city over here. Obviously the low plate is a weak spot, and this is also a weak spot here on the right. I think it's the vision port. The side armor is only 50. Hill or something. The roof is only like 28. It's paper. So RT will have a pretty easy time penning you from above here unless they directly hit the frontal armor, but then still it's only 80. So do keep that in mind. Like I said, first some tier 7s like Chivis or something you might bounce, or something like that, but like at tier 7 you already are going to meet the T29s and Tigers and stuff like that, so they won't have any issues. That most of the tier 7 TDs will probably not have any issue penning you frontally as well. But it does come with a really nice gun, and let's just take a look at that. Keep in mind this is using my setup. I use the combo net, ventilation and a rammer. So with ventilation and a rammer, if we're going to take a look at the firepower, it has a reload time of like 6.92, which is really nice because it's a 1005 gun. Your average damage is going to be 320, so your DPM is quite high, almost 2800. And so yeah, there's a really nice reload, nice alpha for its gun. And the penetration is also really good. The penetration is 200 for the normal shells, and the APCR is 244. So as with most TDs, it's all about the gun on this thing. Luckily, the mobility isn't bad as well. It goes up to 55 kilometers an hour, going forward and 12 backwards. So the backward speed is not that high, but you know, when are you going to really use this? The first speed is a respectable 32. That's good enough. So yeah, it is quite maneuverable, and that's what I like to see in TDs like this, that you don't have to sit back in the base and then once half of the team is dead, you're just too slow to do anything else with it. Health wise, it only has 850, whilst your average TD at tier 7 apparently has 880. So yeah, heavy tanks at tier 7 already have like 1500 health, I believe, or something along those lines. So you want to, you know, preserve your health as long as you can, because your armor is not going to really help. And the longer you're healthy or at full health, the more you can dish out in the end, whilst you bring down your DPM to bear. So do keep that in mind. It doesn't have a lot of health or armor, but the mobility is very nice, and the firepower is also very good. Now the fuel range is surprisingly only 370 base. With ventilation it's almost 380, but that's not a lot for a TD. I was hoping to get more. You know, it works, but I would, if I were to buff this thing, I would give it a little bit more fuel range, but that's about it. So yeah, that is the stats for the Jagdpanther thus far. It does look like a really nice tank. It's obviously built on the Panzer chassis, so it does look quite good. Alright, so let's jump into some replays. So there we go with the first replay. As you can see, we're fighting against a lot of tier 9s and 8s. And we're just going to show how well this thing can do even at tier 8 and 9. And we're playing on the map Fjords, and we're just gonna go to the same spot that I usually go to in the beginning of the game in mediums or TDs. And I'm taking a bit of a scenic route here because I should have just taken the upper route going up there. But yeah, so there's 4 tier 9s, there's 2 artillery at tier 8, and just a couple of tier 7s. So kind of a hostile environment for us. See, as you can see, the Tiger 1 got spotted there. The Object 432 got him, or at least spotted him. And the spot I'm going to is like really well known, I think. You can easily spot exactly where the enemy is coming from, as you can see in the bushes there. Right between this bush, or this tree rather, and this bush, you can spot heavy tanks really easily, and sometimes even mediums if they have really bad camera ratings. So I'm just waiting to see if I can spot somebody here for my teammates. We have 2 artillery, so maybe they can help us out. So we're just basically waiting here. As you can see in the mini-map, down south we don't have a lot of tanks, we only have 2, so we might want to help that flank out. So we see the Tiger, we wait till he's in front of the bush so he doesn't spot us, and we do track him, we don't do any damage. But the balanced RT takes him out for 1500, so full health Tiger 2 down. He was stuck, but still, that's really nice. That's 1500 tracking damage for us. So now, I really want to help out the E75 and Tiger 2, not let him die for free, or die at all. So I'm taking a couple of crack shots here, but it's really hard to aim and hit from this position here. So here I started lowering the premium because if I hit the E75 in, let's say, the lower plate, I want to make sure that I pen that. So that was more in the side armor of the E75. That didn't work. It was too well angled basically. Now for the flush. Also ricochet. So you can see at a distance, at first tier 9, you're gonna have some issues here. So there we go, we penned the lower plate of the E75. But the E75 ours and the Tiger 2 both died. And there's a Rheinmetall and the Jagdpanther coming through the middle now. So I see this happening, and I see that North still hasn't pushed versus 2 tier 8 tanks. So my plan from here on out was like, let's stay in the middle for a little bit, see if the Tiger 1 and T-44 pushes up or not. And then eventually I decided to like go north and help those people out. So we can have all of these tanks free to do something else, let's say defend the cap from these people down south. So T-69 pushes up, I'm like, alright, we gotta help these people out. I don't know why they're not pushing with so many tanks. So we see the IS-3 here. And I still have premium loaded at this point, and I really should not have. Like, on the side armor of an IS-3, you really don't need it. We do track him there. So now that my friends up north finally see, like, oh, maybe we can push up. So another shot on the side of the IS-3. And for these shots, you really did not need to use premium. And as you will see, I think I just freaking forgot that I still have premium shells loaded in the heat of the battle. Because shooting heat at a T-43, you really don't need it. So let's just pretend this never happened. So I take some shots into the T-43, already hit him for 603 in about 13 seconds. You see the artillery. There we go. So that was a shot from third person. I only hit the tracks, I should have just aimed at one and killed them. And right now, if you look at the media map, the E75 is still like pretty far away from the flag. Rheinmetall just died, and these guys have not been spotted for a while. The north, they're still up there. That's like unbelievable. These guys could have been to the middle already, but you will see. Oh, there's still the RTs on low health now. You're not gonna drown. No, you're not. So there you go. So now the Tiger 1 and Flush got spotted, and they're in the middle of the map, and also the IS-8 shows up now. So they basically wanted to cut us off, or to basically defend their flag, even though they're in the minority here. So we take a crack shot at the IS-8 from third person there. And now we have the Foch on the side, and I'm trying to keep these bushes between us so I don't get spotted, but I was a little bit too much forward there, so I do get spotted, but it doesn't really matter. The Foch was tracked. Put another shot into him, and another shot into the side of the Foch. It's an easy pen. So now there's only a Tiger, KV-3 and an E-75 left. The Tiger is being shot at right now by the IS-8, and IS comes into the side. So now there's only a KV-3 left, and he just died in the base. I think he was AFK or something. And the E-75 is rolling towards our cap, maybe to get a few cheap kills on the artillery. So I load my last premium shell for the E-75 just to make sure that I get a little bit more damage in if I do hit him, and if I hit like the lower plate or something, I really want to make sure that I actually pen the guy. Then I decide to shoot it on the move for some strange reason. Obviously, if I aimed that better, that would have been a better life choice. So we take a shot at his side. He was not well held versus me at all. The next shot goes into the tracks but does no damage, but the GW Tiger P finish him off for the rest of his health, so we get that nice tracking damage. So there we go, these are the stats for that game on Fjords. Obviously it's a mastery badge, got a score of 1583, and this is because we did almost 4k damage versus a lot of tier 9s, and we also got detecting on the Tiger, but keep in mind on World Tanks replays this also counts as tracking. So altogether with spotting and tracking I've done 3,144 tracking and assistance basically. And yeah, that was overall a very nice game, showing you what a Jagdpanther is capable of even at tier 9. If people just randomly ignore you, basically. Alright, so now we're on steps, and it's a tier 7 only matchmaking. I thought it was going to be a good idea to show you both the high end of the matchmaking and the pretty much the best end here. There's a lot of tier 7s. There's about half the team is tier 7, the other half is tier 6, so it's like perfect matchmaking for us. And I'm just going to talk you through it, how this game turned out. So I'm taking a defensive position in the beginning because I see the Panther and Comet moving out aggressively, so they can spot the middle for us. So the Jagdpanther and IS get spotted, so I'm already going to wait for the Jagdpanther here. Put a shot into his side, 290 is not that high of a roll. And we all are already reloaded. Remember that 6.7 reload time. So the IS comes in, take a shot at him whilst he shoots the Panther. So now I get spotted by the Lux that went into, well, almost into the base. He died there, but we got spotted, so we go into the ditch. So that only the RT can shoot us, and the RT in this case is only a bird. So we don't have to worry too much. So only the IS and Jagdpanther has been spotted, so what I'm thinking here is like, alright, let's just take out the Jagdpanther, but then his friends start to show up, so the T25-2, and the Jagdpanther is behind cover there, so he can't even shoot back. I see that the T25-2 is in the open.
Enemy armor is damaged.
Take a shot at him. So 3 shots in, already 1000 damage. So you also see that there's an SU-152 over there. So that's 4 tanks in this flank, but we should be okay. T-29, a Comet and a K-1S. So we take a snapshot at the IS, but fully hidden in gun mallet, and we do not pen, and we even had premium loaded, so that was not a great shot. The next shot we track him, that was deliberately so that the Comet and T-29 could shoot him, but the T-29 already died. So, but the Comet still hits it. Now we're just waiting. That was the RT that hit us for about 8 damage. That sounds like a good RT to me. So I think that was our RT trying to hit the IS and we missed. We do have a Hummel. So there has been 4 tanks spotted on this flank, and now also the SU-122-44. And the best part about this is that the Comet is just running into a horde of enemies here. And even though he can one-shot the Jagdpanther 2 if he gets a good roll, but he probably needs 2 shots, there will still be more than enough tanks left. So I don't know what the hell this Comet was thinking. He was on good health, was a perfect map, perfect matchmaking, and even if Jagdpanther comes in, the Jagdpanther 4. So, in this confusion, only the IS is looking my way. And we do spot the bird. The bird obviously doesn't have that much range, and he was really close, and he wasn't even in the bush, so we spot him, kill him easily. So, yeah, the Comet died, and it's just me and a K1S on this flank. And as you can see, there's a Jagdpanther, the Jagdpanther 4, an SU-122-44 on full health, an IS, a T-25-2, an SU-152, and there's still a Jagdpanther on 150 health. And it's just me and a K1S over here. That was the Hummel shot that missed IS again. So we see the Jagdpanther moving out, take a shot at him. What's also important to note here is that I have the high ground and there's nobody here anymore, luckily. So I'm shooting down on these guys, whilst the K1S has side shots if they move out. This also means that if they want to assault me, they have to climb up the hill, so that gives me some time to move out or go somewhere else. So there's you, we have more than enough gun depression, put a shot into him, Jagdpanther moves out. And now the SU-122-44 does something that was kind of strange, like he didn't even look at me, he just really wants to finish off the K1S. The K1S actually pens him, and I finish him off. And now the Jagdpanther's behind us. So we still have the high ground a little bit. This Jagdpanther is like not really a threat, because he can actually just bounce on the frontal plate quite easily. That was the Hummel that hit him for 275. And now after his SU-122 buddy, this SU-152 moves out. And I see that happening, and what I do is, whilst these people are trying to move up and around, that takes a little bit more time than usual because they have to move uphill. I can just go downhill, and with my speed I can shoot the SU-152 really easily. From this distance with 1.7 aiming time, you barely have to aim, you just have to like point and click basically. So whilst they move up, I try to kill the SU-152. K1S is just slightly faster than me and gets the kill. And now the T-25-2 moves out and the Jagdpanther comes in. T-25-2 bounces on our frontal plate, the Jagdpanther bounces. He rams me, but I obviously am a lot heavier than the Jagdpanther, so I do a lot of damage to him, 161 ramming damage. The K1S takes out the IS, and I take out the Jagdpanther 4 here. So, that was the entire flank basically. The AMX comes in to help us out. I'm not sure if he did damage or not. It might have been the Hummel mostly. So yeah, we took everybody out on this flank with basically me and the K1S. The K1S survived with 169 health. And now the Jagdpanther's engine and power to weight ratio allows you to still get a little bit more damage out of this game. If you're in a slower TD that only goes like 30 or 20 or something, you can't do this. In the Jagdpanther, that's something I really like about this tank. Is that even when the enemy's obviously defeated at this point, you can still try and squeeze out a little bit more damage using your speed. So they have 3 tanks left, the Jagdpanther, Churchill 7 and KV-1S. So I see the Churchill, but then the K1S pops up, he's a one-shot, take him out. And now the Jagdpanther is not even facing us, he's obviously facing the rest of my team that was already spotted. Put a shot into him, he also got hit by the AMX to my left. And then we're gonna try to put a shot into his... it's too late for him. And now it's only a Churchill. We're already at 7 kills and 3,300 damage. Take a shot at the Churchill in the middle. He gets hit by, I think, the VK there. And the last shot takes him out, and that earns us 8 kills and almost 4k damage at a tier 7 game. So this is the score for our game on steps. Obviously this was a tier 7 game. The XP is kind of weird because it was a ×3 experience going on at the time of me playing this game. But it does mean that I got an XP amount of 1518 out of this with 8 kills, 3815 damage and 625 detecting / tracking damage. So yeah, a very nice game, 8 kills, pretty damn happy with this. Just goes to show you what the Jagdpanther can do at tier 7. So yeah, there you have it, the Jagdpanther at tier 7. It's not only a really good looking tank, It is also a wonderful tank to play. If you haven't played it in a while, I suggest revisiting it if you already unlocked the Jagdpanther in the 30. If you're still grinding up towards it, especially after the awful tier 6, you will have a lot to look forward to. And I can just really recommend playing this tank. I kind of had to came back to it because I didn't unlock the 30 yet. I went straight for the Jagdpanther and from there to the Jagdtiger. So I came back to it for the Ferdinand, and this tank, it just has everything that I want from it. And it has a nice speed and a nice gun, and you sometimes get those lucky bounces on the front. And if you combine all of that, you have really solid tier 7. And like I said, if there was a way to buff it and still keep it fair, the only thing what I would like to see is to have it have a little bit more fuel range. But other than that, I think it's a pretty damn solid tier 7. And so yeah, if you already played it or you're looking forward to it, let me know in the comments below what you think of it. Like I said, I think it's a damn solid tier 7. So this is my first tank review. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I know there's probably some errors here and there, but I'm just happy to get one out there. But you can be sure of it that I'm going to be making more and more. I think the next video might possibly be a T62A, but we'll see about that. Hope you guys enjoyed this tank review, and as always, good luck in the battlefield out there, guys, and I'll see you guys next time.